What's up, hikers? So I'm running through the woods right now, or walking now that I'm talking to my camera, and just had me thinking about, maybe making another video and talking a little bit about, more preparing for a through hike. I'm really out here just trying to get in the best shape I can for next year when I'm through hiking the PCT. It's coming up quick, so what do I got, about 7 months or so before I plan to be on the trail? I don't know, I'm not doing the math right now, my brain's kind of fried out. Been running in the Texas heat for about 45 minutes now, just on some trails near my house. There's only so much you can do to prepare for a long distance hike. As you know, you need gear. You need to be in some sort of physical condition to be able to walk miles at a time. And truthfully, that statement's been contradicted this year by, I guess a paralyzed woman is hiking the AT or something like that. I don't know, I guess she's got robotic legs. So either way, she can kind of walk with her robot legs. So you're going to want to be able to walk. And what I'm doing right now is more than what I was doing when I was preparing for my AT through hike. I'm getting ready to do the PCT. I have a feeling it's going to be a little harder for me. More desertous conditions, less water, and I sweat a lot, and I feel like it's just going to be a challenge. Obviously, you're walking 700 miles through the desert, and then another 2,000 miles through all sorts of other terrain. So either way, yeah, lately I've just been going on quite a few trail runs, at least a few a week, just to keep my legs good and just feel confident. And I feel myself getting stronger and stronger pretty much every run I go on. Sometimes I'll end up missing a week of running just because I get caught up doing other crap, but it helps me a lot, and it helps me stay confident and feel like my feet can handle walking miles and running. The reason I'm running mainly here too is because there's not a lot of elevation change. I'm in central Texas, so there's really no elevation change here, at least in my location in Austin. There is some hills and stuff, but nothing substantial like you'd find in any of the mountain ranges. I'm just in the hill country of Texas, so it helps to run and jog. It's not like I'm sprinting through the woods, but there's trails with all sorts of different terrain out here, which is pretty nice. I feel like it just helps to keep your ankles limber and keep you ready to take on long days on the trail. You don't have to be in amazing shape to through hike a long trail. Your body will certainly transform in the process of hiking the trail itself. But I will say that preparing your body and just getting used to your shoes and getting used to having your feet walking or running along a trail for long periods of time, it will definitely help you at the beginning of your through hike or long distance hike, whatever you're hiking. And that your body won't have to adjust as much. That's something I struggled with big time because I hardly prepared for my through hike on the AT, and my body was in for a huge shock. Luckily, I stayed strong and stayed in the game. But I would definitely suggest to anyone who has time before they're about to go send it off into the woods for 6 months or however long they're walking for, I would definitely suggest that you prepare. And I feel like running is helping me. And I will also add, there's really no way to prepare for a through hike, in my opinion, to completely prepare. And I'm sure a lot of others would agree, maybe some would disagree. But the reality is it's a whole entire lifestyle change. And the only way to, be capable of climbing mountains for 6 months at a time is to climb the mountains for 6 months at a time. You can't really substitute it with a stair stepper or doing squats in your bedroom or something. So I say running along trails and just doing miles on trails. And if you got good elevation change in your area, you're lucky. Hit the trails and hike them, climb all the mountains in your area, and just get prepared. Get a grip for what it feels like to spend some time outside and be on your feet. Have some weight on your back, that'll help. But just get out there and get your feet and legs ready and just know that you can do it. Sometimes I feel like if I took the time to prepare more before my through hike of the Appalachian Trail, that it would have discouraged me a little bit. It would have shown me, you know, what I was potentially in for, even though nothing can show you what you're in for until you're actually out there doing it, grinding, walking 15 miles a day, 20 miles a day, you know. And of course, you know, the psychological part of having to walk 0 miles in a day, being stuck in town, things like that. There's no way to prepare for that. But had I spent more time backpacking, I feel like it would have made me a little more timid of the idea of through hiking the Appalachian Trail. So sometimes I feel like I was lucky that I prepared less, but it definitely made the beginning of my hike a lot harder. So now that I kind of know what I'm in for when I'm going into the PCT, obviously it's different than the AT, but I just kind of know the ins and outs of at least long distance hiking. There is no way to be 100% prepared for a hike of such magnitude as the PCT, AT, CDT, whatever you're hiking. I just don't think that anyone can technically be truly prepared for what might happen. I mean, you can think of any scenario that can happen, but it's a mystery out there, especially if you're doing more of a self-sustained hike, you know, where you're doing your own resupplies in towns and, you know, you don't have a van following you or something. Anything can happen. You know, it's beyond the walking in the woods and the physical injury or, you know, dehydration, things like that. It's just the whole logistics of it becomes a problem, which you don't have to deal with when you're living in a city and preparing for the hike. You don't have to deal with the logistics and the downside of being away from home and being away from friends and family and a support system to, you know, help you to coordinate all the logistical things. Like if you need a new pair of shoes, but you happen to be in the middle of nowhere that definitely doesn't carry the shoes you need, it becomes challenging and it becomes pretty mentally trying. And there's really no way to prepare yourself for that other than to do it or to already have been a person who's faced some adversity and knows how to handle it, which I like to think that most people have faced some sort of adversity. The reality is, it's a scary undertaking to hike a long trail. The chance of failure is high. You know, something like 1 in 4 people complete their through hikes, you know, even less on some of the more remote trails. But it's easy to get discouraged and it's easy to think that you can't do it. And that's the biggest thing. It's mental, like I've touched on so much before. And I really can't stress enough that you need to mentally prepare yourself for this. You don't need to be in the best shape. It will help you if you are. But you need to be ready for what is about to go down. Shit's gonna be hard. Shit's gonna get real. It's gonna rain for a week straight. You're gonna miss your girlfriend. You're gonna miss all sorts of shit. But you need to focus on what you want. And if you wanna walk to Maine, you wanna walk to Canada, you want to walk wherever the hell you're walking, do whatever you're doing, you need to prepare yourself mentally because things are going to go bad. It's not always going to be easy. Doesn't matter how many miles you run before the trail, how many marathons you run, how many mountains you climb. Things happen in a 6-month period, as you know. There's no shortage of excuses when it comes to backing out of a long distance hike. You can make up all sorts of stuff. But if you really want it, no excuse will really be good enough, especially your physical condition. I saw people out there who looked like they could, you know, have a heart attack at any moment, but they were crushing miles. They were making it. And I saw people out there, they transformed their bodies in that 6-month period and got in the best shape of their lives by just the pure determination and I guess kind of lack of food when you're climbing mountains. So you're gonna change. You're gonna become a machine, a hiking machine that's burning 5,000 or more calories a day. Not eating that much, you're almost always in a calorie deficit, but you become this strong beast of a human. You become the rawest form of yourself, who's capable of climbing multiple mountains every day over 20+ mile stretches of land. It's pretty remarkable, really. And you can do it, and you will do it if you just focus on what you want and you go get it. It's that simple. And physical preparation will help you. It won't just make your experience absolutely awful and terrible if you don't physically prepare, but you want to have some sort of grasp of what you're getting yourself into. I ride bikes a lot. I ride BMX bikes. I also ride road bikes, and that kind of helps with my legs before the trail, I feel. It's not as high impact as hiking, but it certainly helped with my muscles. So, you know, that can be something you do, is ride a bike a lot. It helps with your cardio too, prepares you for that. But there's just no way that you can truly prepare yourself to climb up and down mountains with 30 plus pounds on your back for 6 months other than doing it. So get out there and go do it. Happy trails, guys. Hope you can take something from this video. And if you like it, and if you want to see more, I'm going to be through hiking the PCT in 2017. I have a projected start date of April 20th of 2017. So we'll see how that goes. And just keep on hiking. Stay safe.